What's up, self healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and spiritual journey. Here lately, I've been speaking a lot about trauma. And so today, I wanted to come on and speak about how your purpose is hidden in your pain. Your purpose is hidden in your pain. So when self healers go through tremendous pain, what happens is one or two things can happen. They can get stuck in that pain. Yeah. They can get stuck in the victim mentality to where they are always the victim. And then the pain turns against you. But I'm here today to remind you that you, thus far, you have survived 100% of your trauma. That's pretty good ratings. That's pretty good numbers. 100% of what you've been through, you have survived. And as self-healers, chosen empaths, right? You have the capacity. Remember, I shared with you that the empath is an alchemizer. They master alchemy. And they master transformation, transmutation. They take something negative and they transform it into something positive. That's what true self-healers do, and that's what the real chosen ones do. And if you're on this channel, more than likely, you're one of the chosen. Now, we do have some monitoring spirits. They'll be okay. But the chosen ones, they have the capacity to be an alchemist, to transform their trauma into their purpose. So what might something like this look like? Depending on what your trauma has been, right? One can have the mentality of the why me, or they can have the mentality of the why not me. A lot of times your guides, your God, your higher self, the contract that you signed up for when you decided to come back to this earth realm, the earth realm is the school realm. You come here to learn valuable lessons and to clear karmic debt and to break generational curses. So a lot of times one can take all of that, right, and put it into something to help someone else. Now, this is one of the things that hold the chosen empath back. One of the things that holds the chosen empath back is that they unconsciously believe that they have to be healed 100% before they can go and assist someone else. Unconsciously, that's a belief, right? Well, I'm here today to share with you that that's not true. You don't have to be 100% healed. As a matter of fact, you assisting someone else at the level that you're at, right? You're not trying to assist them on something that you haven't mastered, but you assisting someone else at the level that you're at can be a part of your own healing, be a part of your own alchemizing, transmuting. So some of the things that one can do, right? I'm going to give some examples of trauma and how you can transmute that into healing, into assisting others, assisting the community. Because as the chosen empath, although we 99% of the time walk alone, we normally work somewhere in the community helping other people. And then we'll draw back into isolation to recover. Yeah? This is part of the magic of your pain, is taking what's hurt you and assisting someone else that's in the same place that you were in. So if you were in something like domestic violence, where you had a narcissistic abuser that was abusing you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, sexually, financially. You can go to the local shelters. You can start off by donating clothes, donating food, donating time. Now they're going to do a background check and all that. You can't just walk in there. You can start by going to school to assist people with domestic violence, something like social work or counseling. If you do hair, right? You're a beautician and you've survived massive domestic violence or sexual assault or something like that. You can start a support group for women and men who have been sexually assaulted or abused, or for teenagers who have been sexually assaulted or abused. But if you do hair, you can do things like go to the domestic violence shelter. Now, this doesn't happen right away. You can't just walk in there and say, I want to come here and do this for the people who have been domestically abused. No, you have to go through a process. But that's another thing that you have to be prepared for, is the process. Nothing happens like that. But you can go there and you can do a makeover day for the ladies in there. You can do their makeup or their hair or their nails. Yeah, giving back to the community. What was it that you needed when you were in that position? You needed to feel pretty. You needed to feel safe. You can provide that for someone else. If you have been homeless and you know what it feels like to not have personal hygiene products, and you know what it feels like to not have your hair cut, or you know what it feels like to not have food, you can make little personal hygiene packages and pass them out to people on the homeless shelter. You know, you don't need any permission to do that. You can just do it. Toothpaste, fluoride free toothpaste if you love them. Toothpaste, deodorant, aluminum free deodorant if you love them, or if you can afford it. If not, they'll be happy to have anything. Shampoo, sanitary napkins for the homeless women, socks, things of that sort. Bug repellent. In the wintertime, you can hand out, buy those blankets wholesale, like buy a big box of blankets. You can hand out blankets, things of that sort. Because if you've been homeless, you know what it feels like to not have those things. You don't have to have been homeless to do those things. You can do those things as a part of your own healing, because your purpose is hidden in your pain. I guarantee you that your purpose is hidden in your pain. If you were trafficked as a child, sex trafficked as a child, you can create a safe space. Like if you have a business, all you have to do is go down to your community, to your downtown somewhere. I don't know where you exactly go, but you can get a sign. There's a universal sign that says safe space or safe place. And so if someone is being human, all you gotta do is put that sign up on your business. Again, it's a process. But you put that sign up on your business so people that are being human trafficked, they can see that sign. And if they get that slight chance to get away from their predator, they can come into your place of business, and then you have a process that you go through to get them to safety. Simple, easy peasy stuff that makes a huge, huge difference. And knowing that you're helping someone, that you're holding space for someone who has been through what you've been through, or something similar to what you've been through, is healing in itself. Your purpose is hidden in your pain. If you have been, like if you're a barber or something, you can have some separate equipment. Not the ones that you use on your clients that come to your shop or to your garage or your space, wherever your place of business is at. But you can have separate equipment, and you can have a day where you set up somewhere, right? And you give the homeless people haircuts. They have those portable shampoo bowls and stuff like that. You can invest in something like that. Remember that your purpose is hidden in your pain. There's always a process to getting there. You don't have to have a lot of money to do that. You can actually even get donations from other people to help you along with your purpose. If someone told you, if you were a singer, an artist, a dancer, you had narcissistic parents that told you to sit down somewhere, stop making all that noise, you sound horrible. You can open up a small community, or you don't even have to open up a small community center. You can do it in the park. You can have dance in the park. You can have yoga in the park. You can have art in the park. You just go down to your local community center and you sign out a space. And then you go on Eventbrite or something like that and you create an event. Art in the park, dancing in the park, yoga in the park, meditation in the park. You suffer from anxiety and depression. Meditation and yoga and art therapy, all that stuff is beautiful. You can even label it art in the park for people who suffer with depression. Easy peasy, simple stuff that has massive healing, massive alchemy, massive transformation. Yeah. You had no food. You know what it feels like to be hungry? Well, of course, you can set up, a homeless station, or you can join someone else who's already doing that. Like communities have all types of food shelters and places that serve the homeless. Go join that community, yeah? See how they do it. Learn what they're doing. And then if they serve food on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can set up a little station where you serve sandwiches on Mondays and Wednesdays. Filling the gaps, closing the gaps. Because the community's already given all that they can, apparently. So you can close the gaps. You can go there, work with them, volunteer with them, learn their process, learn the legal procedures of what you're supposed to be able to do in order to assist. And then set up your own station, your sandwich station or something, where you don't have to have a kitchen. Set up in the area downtown where the homeless people are, or wherever the homeless people hang out at. You're part of the LGBTQAI community, and you know what it feels like to be isolated, to be shamed, to be pushed to the side, to be rejected. Create a safe space for people that identify in those categories, for them to come. Again, it can be in the park, art, yoga, meditation. You can set it up in the park for domestic violence. You can set it up in the park for sexual assault victims. You can set it up in the park for LGBTQAI community. You don't have to have overhead. If you were a child that suffered with illness, find out what it takes to go to the children's hospital and donate things. If you had somebody that you loved, your grandmother or your grandfather, that were abused, elderly abuse, or that you just love them, and them transitioning has been part of your pain. Your purpose is hidden in your pain. Go to the nursing homes. Sing for the elderly. Do some artwork with the elderly. Teach them meditation and teach them chair yoga. Or share with them chair yoga. If you were a person who wasn't able to speak your truth, set up your channel. Speak your truth on social media. Or if you want to get more up close and personal, set up support groups where people have the opportunity to be vulnerable and speak their truth. In the Indigenous American community, we have something that's referred to as the talking stick. And so oftentimes I will paint the talking stick. It's just a stick, but I'll paint it or I'll carve into it. I'll put feathers on it or something like that. Make it beautiful. And then when I'm in a circle of people who we are speaking, right? So that we're not over talking one another. The tradition is this, is that the talking stick begins with, is it the woman or the man? The talking stick begins with the eldest woman, and she states what the problem is. someone in the community has been essayed, or someone in the community is in a domestic violence relationship. I'm using those topics because we're talking about how your purpose is hidden in your pain. There's an issue in the community, and the eldest woman holds the stick and says what the problem is, and she passes it to the left, and it goes to the youngest person all the way around, age wise, until it gets to the eldest man. And at that point, the eldest man should have a solution to the problem. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sure if it starts with the eldest man. I can't remember right now, or if it starts with the eldest mother, with the eldest woman. But at the end, whoever that elder is, after they've listened to everybody in the circle, they have a solution to the problem, right? It's called a talking stick. And the reason you have a talking stick is because we as human beings, we get excited, especially empaths, we get excited about our healing and we want to share. Got some new headdresses. I'm trying to see how that thing's working. I love them. They're very pretty. But anyways, we're trying to share. So we pass the stick, and whoever has the stick is the only person that can talk. So everyone else listens. You can go to the park and do that. Talking stick therapy, where people can come and they can be vulnerable. They won't be interrupted. They can speak their truth. They can open up their throat chakra. Not that you have to have the answer to their problems at the end of the passing of the stick, but that they've had the opportunity to speak their truth without being interrupted. It's powerful in itself. If you suffer from, like I said, anxiety, depression, or anything like that, or one of your loved ones has committed suicide because their trauma wasn't recognized, which happens a lot with military personnel. The suicide rate with people who are prior military is way high. I don't know what the numbers are today. The suicide rate within the LGBTQAI community is super high. You can have these circles where people come together and they can safely speak about their loved ones who have transitioned due to suicide. Dancing is very healing. The moving of the body, the releasing of the energy in the body. You transmute your pain into your purpose, whatever your pain is. Be creative. Now, this is the thing that you have to do. First of all, you have to be brave. You have to be willing to do something different. You have to be willing for it not to just blow up right away. You might have one or two people the first time. You have to have endurance to keep going, the courage to do something different, and the courage to take the first step. Yeah? Because that's something different that you have, right? Is what the people are waiting for. If you were hungry and you know what it is like to not have food, you can start a community garden. Yeah. You know how many people out there are thinking, man, I wish I had my own garden bed. I wish I could start a community garden. And all they're doing is wishing. But the chosen do more than wish. They make it happen. Yeah. If you want to go more of the 3D side, you can go become a counselor of those topics, or you can become a social worker of those topics and go help people that way. Whatever you want to do, be creative. Listen to meditations that open your creativity. And then be brave enough to step out on it. Be creative, be unique, and be ready to take a risk. Be ready to be told no. Be ready that no one shows up the first time. Be persistent in your healing. Because when you heal others, you are also healing yourself. Yeah? Your purpose is hidden in your pain. Well, that's all I have for you today. Here on Closing the Gap, we make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you like my energy, please don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment. Show some reciprocity, yeah? Reciprocity is good karma. And if you're really feeling my vibe, don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you know the next time I upload. We'll see you next time here on Closing the Gap. Y'all have a good week.